fucking Sonic fandom is full on forces with this Sonic Frontiers gameplay that was shown off, I believe, a couple days ago. I don't know. But, you know what I find funny? It seems that every time a new Sonic game that comes out, we're always in this same bullshit. Now, before I begin, I want to express a couple things. I'm not a diehard Sonic fan, because I don't autistically spurge over a blue hedgehog whose games haven't really been that decent since Sonic Generations. Sonic 4 was terrible, and you know it. I have yet to play Sonic Unleashed, the Xbox 360 version, but I do have the DLCs. I have played and beaten Sonic 06. That game sucks too, but there are at least some, in quotations, qualities besides the music, but I'm not going to sit here and say that it was good, because it wasn't. Its hate was rightfully earned, and I'm not about to try and pull some "it actually wasn't that bad" 15 years later, when people do the same shit for a certain game series I'm not going to bring up right now, because that is not the point. And Sonic 4 was no misunderstood game. I will probably stream the second episode at some point, as of this recording, but I'm just gonna go by of what Johnny used to say back in his review from a long time ago. But even with Unleashed and Colors being pretty decent, and Generations being a proper celebration of the series, even if it wasn't original, I think it's safe to say after around there, Sonic Team clearly was kind of fucked in the head. And even with Sonic 4, they don't understand their character anymore. Whoever got changed in the department at Sega, or Sonic Team, or whoever, honestly, I put blame on both, honestly. Because, you know, Sonic 4, the game that tried to be what Sonic Mania did, even as the Meech says, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. But I can at least acknowledge that, honestly, I think everyone else is on the nostalgia drug, except they want to pull that shit at me, especially when I talk smack about another Sega game, Shades of Rage. But I'll save that for another video, because again, I want to keep it about Sonic. And especially the mainline games. Nothing to do with Sonic Origins, because I already ranted the crap about that. I know it's coming out later this month, and I still feel the way that I do, and if Sega didn't delist the original games, I wouldn't give a shit. But they're doing the same shit that Rockstar did, so I got pretty pissed off at that. One more thing I wanted to address before I begin. I only play the games. The anime, Sonic X, was okay. Theme songs are kind of shitty. And I know that they try to pull in the adventure arc at some point, but I don't give a shit about the English dub. I've only watched a little bit of the original Sonic cartoon. I didn't watch Sonic Sat-Am. I didn't watch Sonic Underground. I only care about the games, because I'm a gamer. The cartoons are okay, but they're not my main source of entertainment. I don't care about the comics. I don't read the comics. I don't care about anything outside of the mainline games, unless said material was in the games. So don't try to come at me and say that the comics or Archie, whoever the fuck writes them, I do not care. If it's not in the games, I don't give a shit. It's about the games and the games alone, because the game should be treated as game per game basis, not because it has a fucking label on it. Okay? Honestly, after Sonic Forces, I was very much skeptical as to what the next Sonic game would be. I played that shit the same day it came out, and I never touched it since. I've left long-ass comments on Cyblade's channel. And if you want to read them, you can. I'll leave a link if you wish to not only check out his pretty decent playthrough, but you can also check out what I wrote on almost every damn video that he's made. And if you're wondering why I did that, it's because, like I mentioned, there are people who actually do enjoy the game. And if you actually like Sonic Forces, that's fine. But you can't tell me that Sonic Forces is a masterpiece when it isn't. And I'm not going to get mad at you if you like the game, but I will get mad at you if you say that my opinion is invalid because I have a different view on things. We can agree to disagree, but we have to agree on something, and that Sonic Forces was definitely not the greatest game ever made. And it really pissed me off that people are once again throwing these Sonic Adventure games were never that good. Which is especially insulting since I have played the games in Dreamcast, not the GameCube ports. I have played the original Dreamcast games, besides Fast Star Online, the original version, and Toy Commander, and I think one other game. I forget. I really do. And yes, Toy Commander was actually decent. Please, Sega, bring it back. The adventure games were good. They just had their faults. Adventure 1 was pretty damn glitchy at times. Not as shitty as Sonic 06, but it had its fair share of glitches, especially if you played the Dreamcast version. And the gameplay with all 6 characters, well, okay, I'm not going to count Big, because he's just essentially a fucking Sega bass fishing advertisement, but everything else was okay. The Sonic gameplay was really stellar, the Tails racing was interesting, essentially more or less the same as Sonic's, except you have a different playstyle. Knuckles' treasure hunting was pretty good, Tikal was actually a help, the radar didn't suck, Amy's gameplay was more or less Resident Evil 2 remake, except Zero wasn't even that much of a threat, and despite him being a pain in the ass, at least actually felt satisfying beating the crap out of him in an actual boss fight. And Gamma, who was actually my all-time favorite Sonic character, even being voiced by John St. John, I believe, at least according to some website that shows off the voice actors, his gameplay is really good. Biggs is the only one I don't care for, but that's probably why it's short as hell. Yeah, the fishing sucks, but that's why it's short as hell. If Biggs fishing was about as long as Sonic stages, then yeah, I could probably see why people would be really pissed off about. And you do at least get some decent upgrades, which makes the fishing slightly tolerable. It doesn't mean it's good by any means, but that's probably why it's short on purpose. As for Sonic Adventure 2, it has the Sonic levels, the treasure hunting levels, and more or less the shooting levels from Gamma, except you play as Dr. Robotnik and Tails. I can definitely say for a fact that the Sonic gameplay is much improved, and shooting, despite having a shield health bar for some reason, it's still pretty good and you don't have to worry about the time limit. But the treasure hunting levels, those are shitty. I can handle the shooting levels, I can handle the speed levels, even if some drag on for a bit. But the treasure hunting levels are definitely a bit of a downgrade. Also not going to get into how both games have some really shitty emblem ranking requirements, but that's more or less for completionists. Going for the games is normal, it's pretty good. Completionists, however, are going to have a bit of a hard time. But can we at least agree that these games definitely brought in one thing that definitely made these games a lot more interesting? The Child Guard. Now, unfortunately, I can't really go much into depth with the games after, because I didn't play Sonic Heroes back in the day. Shoot me now, but whatever. There is a PC port, maybe one day. And I know of the Shadow the Hedgehog infamous level design that it has. But the less said about that, the better. But oh wait, you can't judge a game unless you did play it, and actually bought it, and gave money to the people who made the game. Now, excuse me while I go on the pirate. Sonic Twitter is losing their minds over the fact that Sonic Frontiers is once again reusing assets from Sonic Forces. And even if the gameplay might have been a bit mediocre, at least for what's initially shown off, these same people were probably the same people who did the same shit for Sonic Forces, because I actually just got done watching a video. It was pretty alright. Even their Twitter thread they made too actually made a lot of sense. These people really are stuck in a Sonic cycle, and it's pretty disappointing because Sonic Forces was advertised as this wonderful game, that it was going to be revolutionary, and it was going to be about how Sonic was captured, and you gotta build up resistance, and go capture him. Except, I played the game. You literally rescue Sonic after the first boss fight, which is a reused character from Sonic Lost World, which was also another very mediocre Sonic game, but whatever. You can also partially blame Nintendo for that, since there was that deal with Sega and Nintendo where some Sonic games would be on Nintendo systems, and we don't talk about Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric. That game is so fucking bad that people are even convinced that it was actually decent. I don't give a shit if it's based on the show. I'm judging it as a game. The game sucks. And Jado definitely has that shit covered. That game is fucking terrible. It also baffles me that the people who made the Naughty Dog Jack and Daxter games tried to cover that up. Okay. But seriously, if their foundation as to why the game is terrible is because of the game's reusing assets, what the fuck is Elden Ring? What the fuck is Pokemon? What the fuck is even Doom 2? And yes, I'm going there. For all three of them. Like, are we actually gonna use this one argument against the fucking game, all because it reuses assets? What about God of War 2K18 Boy Simulator? That game reuses assets even in the game itself. You practically played the same boss 6 fucking times. But that game won Game of the Year over fucking Marvel Spider-Man, which is depressing, because that Spider-Man game I still say is pretty alright. And I'm actually happy the game is coming to PC. Sucks that Sony had to pretty much do a lot of damage before then, but, you know. Good job Insomniac for making a game that doesn't fucking suck. And fucking never make a Ratchet & Clank game ever again. People fucking suck at it now, but let's not even get into that. But seriously, if the whole basis of the game sucking is because the game's reusing assets, that's fucking stupid. A lot of games, even older and newer, have reused assets. Hell, there's probably been reusing of assets ever since, like, Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 3. That's just fucking stupid. Even Sonic 1 and 2 probably share pretty much the same assets if we're going there. That is such a stupid argument. The word you're supposed to be looking for is repurposing of said assets. Sure, you could take the same gameplay of old and regurgitate it until people get sick of it. Unless you're a Pokemon fan. It just baffles me that these trailers are designed to get people excited, and then when the game comes out, it just ends up being shitty. And the thing with Sonic Forces, at least the premise of it, is interesting. Sonic being captured by, you know, all of Dr. Robotnik's past villains and stuff, having a new character, that sounds interesting. And I'm thinking, okay, they could probably acquire the rights to use the characters from Sonic Sadam, because, you know, that was a resistance and whatnot. You know, you have Sally Acorn, Bunny, and the other characters I don't give a fuck about. But nope. It's just there to shoehorn in a lazy Sonic OC creator, which I've already mentioned that, but I still stand by that. Not to mention the fact that the fucking game has guns, just like Shot the Hedgehog, which everyone harps on that too. The fact that people say that Sega listens to feedback, I don't buy that. And here's why I don't buy it. Because of Sonic 06. Because that game was so universally hated, yet they never bothered to make a game like that again. The Sonic 4, a game that tried and horribly failed to replicate the Sonic Genesis gameplay. If people got mad at that just because Sonic was using the same model as in the later games. I fucking played that game. The physics are fucking terrible. People get so pissed off over Sonic games in the most insane ways possible. And before you try to throw that bullshit at me about the Sonic Origins collection, keep in mind that Sega wants you to play these games. Even if they're made by fans, but you have some of the most baffling decisions that I've ever seen. It pains me to say that even Sega's older compilations, mainly the Mega Collection and Gems Collection, actually have a lot better content than just throwing in the games and a menu or some shit. You have the artwork, the comics, all the other extra stuff, the game hints for those who didn't have internet back then. And they didn't try to mess with the game to make it feel like some bullshit. And even though the Gems collection, at least in America, got the shot out of Seg because they didn't get Streets of Rage, even those have save states, and you can actually make your own saves per se, temporary save states and whatever. They didn't try to make the game this fancy crap. Sure, it wasn't like some Genesis 16:9 widescreen hack, but it was a collection of older games, and it was decent. Now, yes, it sucks that there's no actual definitive Sonic collection, which essentially merges the Japanese games of the Sonic Gems collection and all the games in the Sonic Mega Collection Plus. That'd be awesome. You get one definitive collection of Sonic games with content from both. But I don't think that's gonna fucking happen. But whatever. Point is that these games still exist and they can be played. Except for Gems Collection, it never got ported on PC, which is a pretty big damn shame. With this reaction of Sonic Frontiers, I don't have much hope that the game is going to be good. Especially the Sonic fans are painting it to be this biggest fucking shitstorm because of some trivial things. Even if the game does reuse assets, the gameplay can still be good, and that's what I look at in a game. Sonic Forces sucked because the gameplay was too easy, even on the normal difficulty. Or whatever it was. I think it was normal difficulty. Or whatever it was. The one got posted to leaderboards, however, the one where you actually lose all your rings on one hit. The levels are too short. Even no space. The less said about that, the better. And it just annoys that people always give Sega a pass because it's Sonic. Because Sonic and Sega, or whatever, could never do wrong. They're just trying to please the people who enjoy these games. It annoys the piss out of me that these people are bound on nostalgia, and yet get mad at me for being nostalgia bound. There's a fine line between being nostalgia bound and wanting a company to do better. Honestly, I think it's just safe to say that the Sonic fandom is autistic. And it sucks for me to say that because they don't like anything, no matter what. And I don't like to be part of that, because it's patronizing as fuck. This cycle that these people keep bringing up is actually true. Because I would not be surprised if I were to look at footage of, say, Sonic Boom or Sonic Lost World, where they showed like 5 seconds of gameplay. When something is announced, wait for gameplay. When gameplay is shown, it's on the first level. When a game gets delayed, oh, it means it's going to be good. It's literally a damn if you do, damn if you don't. And yet, people like Knothole Resident got pissed off at the game, all because fucking Sonic was using his modern look. Big Al, his main defense was the teaser trailer, wait for gameplay. The only time you can criticize something if it's universally accepted. You can't criticize Sonic because they've always had good games, and that all their later games are just in the same quality as when the series started in 1991. It just baffles me how fucking people are so willing to defend a product that's so bad, and yet they think that they're right, and they call others nostalgia bound because they don't know what that fucking word is. It just annoys the shit out of me. These so-called fans will lash at each other and others for being fiddled. Something about being fiddled? I don't know, dude. This fucking Sonic situation is just pretty shitty. All I can really say is they'll just wait for more gameplay, I guess. And if the game actually does come to PC, I think we all know what to do. If you have to very least buy it on console, get it secondhand. Because at least, even if you're paying money, it's not going to go to Sega. So, you have that option if you so want to. But alright, I'm done.